So this one is an horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so I'll close this dart. So can you see here will open up. Hey guys, what's up? How are you guys doing? So you are welcome to this great tutorial. I want to specially welcome new subscriber. Okay, if this is your first time of coming here, welcome. Okay, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Now, because I don't want you to miss any of the interesting tutorials we have here, I want you to hit the subscribe button, okay, so that you don't miss it. Okay, and if you're a returning subscriber, woo, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy. Your subscriptions, your comments, your like keeps me going. It just encourages me to do more. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. All right, okay guys, so today I'll be showing you how to make a parallel dart. I know you'll be wondering, what is parallel dart? Okay, parallel darts are darts whereby you have two darts, okay, and two of the darts are not pointing to the nipple points. Now, if you are really familiar with dart manipulation, you'll notice that any dart you are trying to manipulate, right, it's always pointing towards the nipple points. Okay, but in the case of parallel dart, no, that is not the case here. Okay, so you have one pointing to the nipple point, and then the other, it will be going away from the nipple point. All right, so guys, I'm going to show you how to make this, so stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment, leave a comment, like and share, let people know about this page. Okay, help my ministry to the permanent site. All right. All right guys, so let us get to work. Okay guys, so let us get to work. Okay, so before we dive in, okay, I want to show you how to identify a vertical and a horizontal parallel darts. Okay, so let me show you. Okay guys, so now if you look at this picture, you see this. Okay, so this star line, okay, or this dart here is star line or a dart that you see here like this is a parallel dart. Okay, and this one is a vertical parallel dart. See, it's vertical. Can you see? Okay, that makes it vertical. All right, now if I go to the next picture, all right, this one also is a parallel dart. Okay, parallel darts are usually in two. Yes, you have just two of them. Okay, so on the dress you're going to see two dart manipulations. Okay, this is an horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so look at the next one, is also a parallel dart. So can you see this one is a asymmetrical parallel dart? Okay, and is a horizontal parallel dart. Okay, all right, so this one, so now this is a parallel dart, is also an horizontal parallel dart, because can you see it's parallel like this horizontally. Okay, and look at this one, is parallel like this vertically. Okay, so we are going to look at the two. Okay, first of all, we are going to start with horizontal parallel darts. Okay, and I'm going to do it in a symmetrical form. Symmetrical, this one is asymmetrical. Okay, so I'm going to do it in a symmetrical form. That means I just need half. If I'm doing this design, I'm going to do it double, like the full bodies. Okay, but I'm just working with half of this. Okay, all right, so let's get to work. So the first one we want to look at is the horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so what you want to do first is you need to move one of those darts to the side. Okay, so what I'll do is this, I'm going to use the shoulder dart. I'm going to move the shoulder dart to the side. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line, yes, as a bust dart. All right. All right, so here we have this, right? So now please note that my waist dart and shoulder dart is connected to the nipple point. Okay, to the bust point, to the nipple point. All right, so I'm going to transfer this dart to this point. All right. Okay, so I just transferred my shoulder dart to my side, okay, as a bust dart. All right, so now I'm going to attach another paper underneath, okay, just like this. You can see that there's a dart is open there, right? So what you want to do from the nipple point, I want you to go in by 1 inch, and then you mark it in between this dart leg. 1 inch in between the dart leg. Okay, so let me zoom in so that you see what I'm doing. Okay, so you will go 1 inch in between the dart leg and you mark it. Okay, you take the measurement 1 inch in between the dart leg and in between this dart leg, and you mark it 1 inch in between the dart leg and you mark it. Okay, and then from this point you're going to connect it to the dart legs. Okay, so I'm going to do this so that you can see it. I just like putting this. All right, so now this is my new dart. So what I just did is I moved my shoulder dart out, and then I create to the bust as a bust dart, and then I moved it away from the nipple point by 1 inch. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to cut. Okay, so can you see it? Now my dart here, see something. Okay, if I am to cut, just observe something. All right, if I am to cut out the darts, all right, if I'm to cut out the darts, you will notice that it will stop 1 inch from my nipple points. Okay, it will stop 1 inch from my nipple points. All right, so look at it. Can you see it? All right, so now this is now my new dart. My new dart point is no more on my nipple point. Okay, so now I have turned my shoulder dart to a parallel dart. Okay, just a single one. Okay, so now I can now decide to draw my star line to anywhere I want. Okay, so I can decide from here, because this is the dart now, right? So I can decide to do a star line like this. Okay, and then this one too, I'll bring it like this. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this one here and this one here. Okay, so now I have created my parallel dart. Okay, this is just my parallel dart. All right, I can now decide to draw any star line, do my dart manipulation any way I want. Okay, so this one is an horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so I'll close this dart. So can you see here will open up. All right, okay, so can you see here I have transferred this dart here, right? And then I'll transfer my waist dart, because I still have my waist dart that is still intact. My waist dart is still intact. Okay, okay, so can you see I have turned my parallel dart into a star line. Okay, this is an horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so I'll just go on and sew this and then sew this. So by the time I finish, it will have a seam at the side, 2 darts. Okay, it will be 2 darts horizontally that's the point. The dart point will be horizontally at one side. Okay, now like I said, you need to know that manipulation for you to understand this. Okay, so initially what I did was I just turned it to parallel, horizontal parallel, and then I can draw any star line. You can decide to draw this like this, your choice. Okay, one of the darts will come like this, one of the darts will come like this. It is your choice. Okay, all right, so this is an horizontal parallel dart. Okay, so now let us move on to Okay, so let me just bring this picture now. Please note that this style is a instrumental style. Okay, instrumental, it is a full bodies. Okay, it is not half. Okay, so now you can see it. Can you see how it is? All right, can you see how the dart is? Okay, so if I were to do this, I will transfer this one up. Like if it's a full bodies, this one will come like this and all of that. Okay, so this one will come like this and this one will follow it up. Okay, so if you do it that way, you will have this effect. Okay, that's if you're doing this. Okay, you need to have a full bodice, and then you do your both side. You know, you have your shoulder dart and waist dart on both sides of the bodies. Okay, so you need to transfer, you need to do your parallel first, your horizontal parallel first, and then you draw your star lines. Okay, all right, so let me now show you how to make the same thing with this. It's still the same thing. If I want to do this, hey, wow, fantastic, this is a symmetrical. Now this is a symmetrical star line. Okay, if I want to do this, what I would do is you just bring this upward, turn it to a cape, and then this one also upward. Okay, so it will be something, this one will be something like this to it as a cape. You need to add a paper here, and then this one will be up, will go up, and then will come like this. Okay, so that will make it parallel. That, I don't know if you can see what I just drew. Okay, let me just make it just a rough job just to show you how it will look like. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, so this will give you this design. All right, okay, all right, so now let me show you how to make a vertical parallel. Can you see it? It is vertical, it is not horizontal, it is vertical. Okay, so if you want to make a vertical parallel, that what you do is, if you're, for instance, so if your basic bodies, all right, there are different kind of basic bodies, right? So if your basic bodies is the waist dart and shoulder dart is connected at the waist, okay, what you have to do is you need to come down by 1 inch, okay, and reconnect your darts. All right, so you come down by 1 inch from your nipple point for your waist. So you come down by 1 inch. All right, make sure it's on the apex. You have to take it from the center front, make sure it's on the apex, and then you reconnect it to your dart legs. Okay, I'm just going to clean the old one, the old line, so that it doesn't get confusing. So can you see now I have separated my shoulder darts, okay, from what my waist dart. Okay, so my waist dart is no more connected to the nipple point. All right, so what I will do next is, you can that's just your parallel. Yes, that's just your parallel. So if your basic bodies is like our basic bodies here, what we do is, this how the basic body from the onset, when we draft, this how it is. So we don't need to come down again. No, you only come down if your waist, kind of bodies you use, if your waist dart is connected to the nipple point. Okay, so basically if I'm doing it with my basic bodies, because it's just like this is how it is, my basic bodies, I'll just draw my star line. Okay, so now just draw your star line. Okay, one will be to the nipple points. Okay, so let's say this will be to the side, and then the nipple point also to the side here. All right, so can you see it? Okay, so can you see we have turned it into a parallel dart, and then it can be any design. Okay, it can be any design. All right, so I'm going to cut this. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this dart. Look at it so that you don't get confused. I'll transfer the dart here, and then this waist dart here. Okay, okay, so I just transferred my shoulder dart to this, and then my waist dart to this. Okay, so now look at the dart points. Can you see it? It's horizontally, it's vertically. Okay, so this pattern is actually for this. Okay, so when you sew this, you will get this. Okay, sorry. You will get this. All right, you will get this. So when you sew this, you should get this. Okay, so look, can you see the darts? They are what? In vertical form. That's a two dart points are in vertical point, right? But if you look at here too, vertical, right? But then look at this one that I did, okay? This one that I did, can you see it is what? Horizontal, and this one is what? Vertical. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's class. I know if you are a beginner it might be confusing, okay, but don't worry, you'll get there, and you can practice, try something on your own. I cannot tell you that it cannot happen with you as a beginner. It can happen, anything can happen, okay? So practice this, let me see it. You can send it to our social media at E28 So Fun on Facebook, Telegram, and Twitter, okay? So you can, or on our WhatsApp group. So you can make any of this, okay, and then send it to us, okay, for assessment. All right. That's if you really want to put this into practice, okay? So like I said earlier, you might be a beginner, you can just try it, okay? But for you to really understand this, you need to know the concept of dart manipulation, okay? So that will be all for today. I hope you have learned something. Please kindly subscribe, don't forget to share, like, and leave a comment, okay? I will try my best to answer you guys, okay? Thank you so much for your time. Do have a lovely day. Bye bye.